Last year, I remade 3 of TF2's most iconic maps in Fortnite, and there would always be people in the comments asking for Hightower. I was a little confused at first with the amount of Hightower shills, as I didn't really see anything special in it. Months later, I make a community post asking what other maps there are that are considered iconic. Again, an overwhelming amount, if not every comment, asked for Hightower. And so, it was settled. Nearing the anniversary of Harvest release, I'll recreate Hightower. Fucking sick of this shit, man. If you've seen the Badwater video, you may remember that the terrain textures I used had to be stitched back together before they would work properly. Thankfully, this time it was much easier. I simply copied the exact same textures. I copied the textures I used in Badwater into Hightower. So hey, good going me. I started with the smaller tower hanging off the edge, as well as mapping out the tracks. I really wanted to have all the props and buildings in the exact same locations as they are in TF2. I basically screenshot every corner of the map to make sure I got everything right. Shout out to this medic who saw me going invis as spy and started following me, likely very confused. But as I was moving along creating the red base, I made a very big mistake that I only noticed when it was far too late. The balcony outside spawn is not even a balcony at all, really. Looking in game, it seemed the entire upstairs floor would need to be nudged about half a tile from where they already were. And while that may not sound that difficult, it really is a major pain in the ass. Fuck! And if I were to do that, it would throw the entire map completely off grid, and would just be harder to navigate if the buildings weren't aligned on the building grid Fortnite has. So I took the simple route and just didn't make it a balcony. So, sorry. I also chose to add these ledges that you could mantle on to get up higher structures quicker. These were a relatively new addition that came out in Chapter 5. I put them in places that may normally be an inconvenience where you could fall there, but this also means mantling would have to be turned on. In all the previous TF2 maps, mantling was always disabled, so I'd like to know if having mantling on is just more convenient for playing. The environment around them also subtly points them out to you. It's a shame there was no yellow paint I could have put on there, so you might not be able to find them because there's no yellow paint. And that's not my fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but it's not mine. There's also a couple little details I added to the map to make it seem slightly more alive. Just making little things move that normally don't, as well as a stupidly rare environmental Easter egg, and I'd like to know if anyone is able to find it. And now there was the issue of the payload race. In the Badwater video, I made the decision to not implement a payload system because I'm a retard. This was basically the exact same issue, but now doubled. What only makes things worse is that there's a section near the beginning where the tracks overlap. Blah blah blah. In all honesty, I just didn't want to try. As a result, however, both capture points lack any rounds to be used to explode things. God, nope! Y'all gonna we got oh my god. If you'll recall, this is Hightower we're talking about. Yes, people do push their team's cart to the final point, but never choose to capture it. This is because at the final point, if any of the players capturing the bomb step away from it, it'll fall all the way back down to where it started. Not to mention there's a big ass alarm that goes off whenever someone tries to cap, and it takes an absurd amount of time for it to even get to the top. This design flaw, or feature, whatever you want to call it, is what gives Hightower the title of a team deathmatch map. It's sort of an unspoken rule of Hightower that no one should ever capture the last point ever. You're never allowed to do it fucking ever. If you join a Hightower game and try to capture the final point, you'll have the entire enemy team pull up on your ass to stop you from even making it halfway. Oh my god. Hightower is mainly just used as an arena with no time limit to just fuck around in. You just go out to fight and kill everybody. The map is perfectly symmetrical while also having a nice upper and lower sections to the map. So, since I'm a fucking lazy bastard who needs to die, I decided that even trying to learn how to make a payload system would just be a complete waste of time. Instead, I made it a simple 2-team deathmatch mode. First team to 200 kills wins. I wanted to set the goal high enough so that matches could still last for natural amounts of time, but also be feasible to actually complete. And if y'all don't FW with this, I will gladly change it. And of course, what would a TF2 map be without all the classes? Here I go again with all this shit. Scout has the dub shotgun, which is similar to the Force of Nature, in that it can push you backwards with every shot, as well as a pistol and slap splashes he can give his team. Scout also has a slightly faster run and jump speed, as well as slightly more stamina. Soldier has a pump shotgun and quad launcher. I saw comments stating issues with using the rocket ram in the Badwater map, so I decided to run that change back, instead replacing it with good old impulses. Pyro has a goo gun or whatever and fireflies, but they don't work! Do you know how much of a bitch it was to even try to have fucking fire on this map, or any map? You aren't even able to do it. I couldn't do it. I can't do it. The only way to turn on fire is to also have it light structures on fire, obviously. Which is fine, except for the fact that they never burn out. They just fucking sit there. And since you're not supposed to destroy the map, it just stays lit forever. So fuck Pyro, and fuck you. You're stuck with the goo gun. I don't give a fuck anymore. Demo has a sticky and regular grenade launcher, as well as C4 that you can place down. Heavy, of course, has the minigun. As Heavy, you have 350 health. To balance this out a bit, I decided to remove the Heavy's ability to sprint. Your movement speed is the same, you're just not allowed to jump around like a monkey, like everyone else. Engineer comes with a charged shotgun and business turret you can place down. Engineer is the only class that is actually allowed to pick up items so that he can actually move his turret around, which was a problem in Badwater. Medic is another interesting one. He of course has a slap cannon to work as his medigun, and Cupid's crossbow to match how much of a joke Medic's weapons are. After not taking damage for a little bit, Medic's shield will automatically recharge at a slow rate back to full, with a max shield count of 400. This allows the Medic to actually help his team instead of being mowed down instantly. Sniper has a sniper, thermal fish, and wild wasp shards to act as his Girardies. I saw a comment on the Badwater video saying that wild wasp would work better compared to the stink bombs I gave Sniper at the time, and I agreed. You are not going to be playing Spy. He's got invisibility cloaks, a revolver, and a recon scanner. The only actual semi-useful item The only useful item Spy has are the shield EMPs, which can instantly disable sentries as well as do a bit of damage. I always thought the EMPs would work much better if they took away the entire shield bar, but were set on a timer, where the shield would return to what it was. I think 70 damage is just such a cop-out, especially for something that only does damage to shields. Each class has the same amount of health they have in base TF2, as well as 100 shields. I switched up how med packs worked a bit. They now refill the amount of health they normally would over the course of 4 to 8 seconds. And where smaller health packs and ammo packs were located, I added shields that would refill your shields over the course of 10 seconds or so. If I missed any health pack locations, there are any bugs, or if you just have any general feedback, please comment, seriously. This part of the audio got corrupted, but I was spouting some gay shit about commenting, so no, don't comment. I don't want you commenting on my videos. And hey! If you experience any performance issues on any lower end devices, I'll be watching for comments like that to judge whether or not the map is optimized to keep gameplay enjoyable. Okay, use code BONELESSSHOP, check out my other TF2 builds, as well as my other Fortnite videos, which is every video, so...